Greetings and welcome. My name is Ryan O'Rourke and I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to send me a message here on YouTube or on my Facebook page. I'd be more than happy to help out. Today we are working on an underwater seascape within the silhouette of a whale. And I'm going to begin with a fairly watery pigment of blue. I'm just blocking in the shapes and the areas that I know that I'm going to want to fill in. I'm making sure my edges are sharp, and I'm getting a general idea of how I'm going to want to move the brush and the strokes within this. Now once I have a general idea, I'm going to move in with a black or a very dark brown with black here, just to make the blue a little bit more interesting. I'm playing with the pigment. And I'm starting to create gradients within that water. I'm selecting one area where it's going to be very bright, where the light is going to be emitting from, and then I'm going to paint it moving out across the water, creating a gradient from white to blue to black. So here around the eye, you'll notice that that is my selected very bright area. This is where the sun is coming through the water, and it's creating these ripples outwards into a black. Now for said ripples, I'm creating almost like a stair motion. I'm doing a myriad of very small little strokes with an incredibly small brush. You want a lot of detail in this. And you're moving it out from a white to a blue to a black. All of these stairs, if you will, are also being curved. Now from there, I'm adding silhouettes of mountains or rocks under the water in a blackish brown and a blue. Again, we're moving all of our colors around, we're connecting everything. And then I'm starting to create rocks. In the distance, you'll notice that they're very blurred out. You can't see any detail in them. But in the foreground here, you see a lot of detail. All of the edges of these rocks are going to be very hard and sharp. And then you'll work your way back into them, making them a little bit softer and blending them into the black. Now, because I'm working with this silhouette, I'm trying to keep a lot of the edges very high contrast. So again, here I'm using a lot of black. This is very far away from the light, so it is going to be a very dark area, as is the bottom of the other fin and the belly of the whale. Now, I'm going back and I'm reworking a lot of things. Generally when we're painting, we go in with an idea, but we don't know exactly what we're going to do. And perhaps we try something or make a mistake that ends up being a blessing in disguise, and we love it, and then we work everything else around that. That's what a lot of this is. This is to show you that yes, you can go in with a plan, but going in and reworking things as you work out other things is completely fine, and that's how a painting evolves naturally and organically. So I'll go in and I'll lighten parts of the rocks, I'll go in and I'll darken different parts of the rocks, and I'll play with the shapes of them as well. And just for the record, for the general shape of the rock, I try to make it very odd. I try to add in a lot of inconsistencies, I'm trying to work in a lot of shapes. I'm almost scribbling like a child would, just because that's the easiest way to ensure that you're not getting a bunch of rocks that look exactly the same. No, you want these to be natural, you want them to be organic, and that means they need to be very different from one another in shape and size. So here now, you'll notice that the light is the brightest part of the painting, even though it is not in the forefront of the painting. And that's very unnatural. Normally you have the front of the painting and it's going to be the sharpest, the brightest, and the most prominent. And normally that's a really good rule to go by, and I highly encourage that when you're beginning. But during various paintings and stages, you can really play with it, and you can make the light in the background or the middle ground brighter. Now, because I'm doing this, I did want to balance it out a little bit more, so you see I'm going back and I'm adding more white-ish blue over the rocks. That's something else to note. Nothing in this painting is actually white. It's all a mixture of white, blue, and brown. If I were going to spend a lot more time with this painting, I'd probably incorporate greens and reds as well. However, I just want to ensure that the colors in it are diverse enough to be interesting. And you can do that very subtly with very muted colors. You almost don't recognize a lot of them normally, and that's fine. It's to be subconsciously recognized and subconsciously creating intrigue. Now from there, I wanted to incorporate just something else, something to add a little more detail, add a little bit more fun, play with the story of it. And so I'm putting in an anchor. I'm painting it all in very bright white-ish blue to begin with. and then I'm going to go in and rework it with blacks and whites as well. Now I'm making sure that all of the sides that are closest to the light are very bright and pronounced and brought out. This is going to be my main subject in the painting. And then the other sides are going to be very dark, very black. They're going to blend into the background. I want this to be very high contrast. I want it to really stand out. You have your bright areas of the painting, you have your dark areas of the painting, and this piece, this main subject, is going to be both. It is going to have all of the qualities, and you notice that the rocks on each side kind of move into it. That's something else to think about with painting. The movement of your subjects and your lines in your landscape. Everything should be pointing in one way or another to your main subject and leading the eye in. That's something else that can really improve your work. I hope you enjoyed. If you want any more underwater scenes, let me know, and ask me questions if you have them. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope you enjoyed, and again, if you have any questions, if you got stuck along the way, please feel free to leave me a comment or send me a message on my Facebook page. Also, if you just want to share your work with me and get a little critique out of it, please feel free to send it to my Facebook. I'd be more than happy to look at it with you and talk about your work, and I'd love to see it as well. If you want more of an immediate response or you'd like to share a picture of your work, please feel free to add me on Facebook. I have a link in the description of this video, and you can add me there, ask me questions, and I'd be incredibly happy to help you and walk you through whatever you are working on. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, if you've enjoyed this tutorial, A, I'm very happy. B, please hit that like button and the subscribe button. It really does help me grow this little art community, and I'd be incredibly appreciative if you did. I'm going to release videos weekly, and I just hope you have a wonderful day. So take care, and again, thank you for watching.